banking too. Pew kept all his earnings in the bank in the shoe.
Hey everybody, it's me, Brendan Kennedy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, The BK Stank. This is me at the gym. I'm showing you guys a little bit of my kind of deload week. So this is what I would do on a Wednesday during a deload week. This is me deadlifting, just warming up, doing about 135. I know what you're thinking. Why would this guy bring his tripod to the gym and show himself doing deadlifts off of foam mats? Well, I figured this isn't the stupidest fitness video on the internet.
Your jaws are sized, so it's just the basic chewing motion, alright? So it's just full range of motion. Open, close, open.
Just doing deadlifts. So for me, what I'm trying to do here, I have that meet coming up on the 18th. I'm trying to get my setup perfect. I'm trying to get it completely dialed in so that when I get on the platform and it's time for me to lift, I have about a minute to get the job done. So I want to make sure I get out there, I get my feet placed like I want them, and I get everything else where it's supposed to be so that I have maximum power, maximum leverage when I go ahead and do the thing. So part of me wants to make this video so I can share it with you. The other part of me is making the video so that I can see what I'm doing wrong here, and probably going to try to point out some of that stuff. Right now, yeah, just focusing on the setup that Alan Thrall talks about, where you get your feet in place, you don't move the bar, you put your hands on it, and then you get lifting. I'm also trying out hook grip. I'll kind of explain why I'm fucking around with hook grip in a little while, but basically it's a really good way to have double overhand grip without really, with having a little bit more of a mechanical advantage than just basic double overhand grip. So if you can see here, I'm trying to have my shoulder blades right above the bar, and that is the case, as you can see. And I also wondered what I would look like if I had a bat wing sticking out, so I went ahead and illustrated that. And why not have laser beams shooting out of my eyes? That's a very effective way to deadlift, and it's looking good there. And for those of you guys wondering about the mats, it helps keep the bar from rolling. And this particular gym I go to doesn't have any deadlift platforms, so to take care of their floor, they figured just put some mats down. Not necessarily the coolest way to do it, but it's what they have going on. 275 here. Still warming up, working up to a big single and then doing a little bit of lighter work after that. Working up to 315, and as I understand it, part of hook grip is killing the nerve endings in your thumbs. And as you can see, I'm not there yet. Trying to get psyched up, because basically it hurts like hell because the knurling on the bar digs into your thumb and you're basically compressing your thumbs, and it hurts like a motherfucker. And like I said, they're completely unnatural. It's not the way you feel like you should be doing things, but I guess that's a lot of training. What training is all about, making unnatural things feel natural. And that's me pulling alternating grip. And as I've learned doing this video, it's hard to really engage the lats as well doing alternating grip. And so what ends up happening here, you end up swinging it out a little bit on your left side. And now belting up here, because it's starting to get heavy. I can pull this without a belt, but it's a little bit harder. And it's really hard because I'm a big fella. You can see there's a little bit of spillover on the top of that belt. And having that gut, it does get in the way. So I think after this meet, I'm really going to focus on losing some fat off of myself. But for the most part, I've been focusing on getting as strong as possible, not really worrying about how fat I am. So checking out my form again, got some pretty decent alignment. And I also wondered what I would look like if I was handsome. So pretty happy with how this is going. I do not like, though, how much my upper back tends to round as the weight gets heavier. I think I'm not as bad as some people, but I need to work on that. So I don't really do many rows or anything to work on upper back strength. So it's always a constant challenge. This is me doing 405. 405 for a long time was just this wall I could not get through. It was psychological, I think, mostly. But I remember the first time I ever pulled 405 pounds, and it was this groundbreaking moment. So this is me. See that upper back rounding a little bit, but still, I feel like the lockout looks good there. If you guys have any comments on that rep, feel free to leave it in the comments section below. And this is me going 425 alternating grip. Had not gotten this that easily before, so using the smelling salts. That's right. Star power, baby. Deep. And again, if you watch that over again, the left-hand side does swing out a little bit, so I have a little less mechanical advantage, and the upper back was running a little bit. This is Konstantin Konstantinovs, or however you say that. He's kind of famous for his upper back rounding a bit, but look at him. He's a powerful motherfucker, and I feel like if he gets away with it, then I'll give myself permission to round it too. I love that he's so strong that the lady had to tell him to drop it down twice. So this is me just kind of finishing up this workout, and now I've been using straps here. And if you know, it's again maybe not the most like perfect ideal form here, but if you'll notice, the bar swings out a lot less just because I'm able to keep that overhand grip, and a lot easier to engage the lats. And I was thinking of getting a few here, but I'm pretty fucking tired. I just deadlifted 425 pounds. So getting 365 for 3, not so bad. Happy with that. This is me doing overhead press. I think this is one that like not a lot of people talk about. Everybody talks about their bench press. Everybody talks about the other compound movements, but overhead press is so challenging for me. Most of all, I think it because it engages the shoulders, and the shoulders are the most mobile joint you have in your body. You can move in so many directions, and part of having all that liberty of movement is that there's such an increased risk of injury. And I know I've had little times where I've torn rotator cuffs. Never had it diagnosed, but I just know, when you can't do a push-up because your shoulder feels like it's torn apart, it's probably a rotator cuff injury. So this is me. I'm trying to just stretch because my shoulders are fucked. I don't know if I'm doing this right. Again, if you have comments on forum, please comment in the section below. But trying to do this classic here, just kind of get my muscles warmed up. So as you can see, I'm putting my head forward, help engage the upper back, keeping my butt cheeks tight to keep my lower back in place. And again, it's all about just warming up the muscles and not hurting myself as the weight gets higher here. This is an exercise here that I've seen a couple of people talk about. I can't remember the exact name, but basically you put your arms in the position of like a W. You put your arms in the position of like an L. You put your arms in the position. Basically, you just work your rear shoulder muscles, and it helps warm up your rotator cuff. You help prevent injury. Slowly getting that weight up there to working weight. This is kind of a deload week, and I'm trying to stay strong. So what I'm trying to do this week actually is not do a whole lot of volume, but keep that intensity very high. So still warming up with 95 pounds. Today I'm going to be doing these exercises with 165 pounds, just do a couple of heavy doubles. I'm really happy with how my back looks there, guys. I know I don't really talk about aesthetics. I know I have the belly of a woman who's 4 months pregnant. But look at those shoulders, ladies and gentlemen. And here I'm using some wrist wraps. I feel like just keeping that joint as stable as possible, you're able to get a little bit more mechanical advantage, just direct transfer of energy through your arm into the bar, getting it over your head. And one thing that I heard is that you actually have like a little bit more mechanical advantage of moving your body out of the way so that the bar stays over your feet. That's what I'm trying to do here. It's hard, though, because I feel like there is a certain point at which you lean back too far and you're kind of doing a fucked up standing bench press, which is why the standing overhead press is no longer in the Olympics. It was just too hard to judge. And now you have the current Olympic lifts that you do. Again, and I'm using my belt here. I probably don't need to, but after doing the heavy deadlifts, my back is tired. So I feel like, again, anything I can do to prevent any additional injury, probably a good idea. And going for a heavy double here. trying to move my body out of the way, push my head through the hole, bring it back down, and I get another one. The bounce technique, something I learned from watching an internet video, because apparently in competition you're allowed to do a slight bounce to get that stretch reflex, help you through the movement. So that's what I was telling myself. So I have 2 more sets of 2 doubles, and then I am going to do some box squats. Probably one of my favorite movements, and I'll explain why when we get there. But for now, 165 going up in the air pretty handily. I'm pretty happy with that, guys. I'm not going to lie. It's the overhead press for me has always been a lift that it's hard for me to. I feel like every time I start to make some progress on it, it starts to slow down again, and then my shoulders start getting sore, and it's, I'd rather be safe than sorry, and I end up dropping the weight down, and it is what it is. Also started cheating sometimes using the leg drive, making it more of a push press, which really takes away from the impact on the shoulders, so you don't get as good of exercise. So here we are doing box squats. Went ahead and changed out of the Converse, put on my Adidas lifter shoes, lifting those ankles up to get better mobility. Now, the thing with box squats is you're taking out that hip stretch reflex at the bottom of the movement, so you can't bounce at all. So really what you're doing here is you're shortening your range of motion a little bit. So if you look, my hips are just near parallel with my knees, maybe a little bit higher. But I'm taking out all of that, momentum I have from the stretch reflex at the bottom of a regular squat. So I'm not like bouncing ass to grass. Instead, what I'm doing is stopping and relying completely on explosive energy. So I'm relaxed and then trying to get my ass off of that box as fast as I can. So this is 185. Just trying to explode up. And I feel like psychologically there's a certain power to this too. When you feel the weight getting up there, you see me belting up at 225, just kind of a common rule for me. I feel like it's, I'm going to be lifting heavy with a belt, so I might as well practice using the belt. But psychologically, you feel like it's impossible to get up because you don't even remember how you got into that position. And then when you feel yourself exploding up, you kind of know whatever you put your mind to is possible. So that maybe that make that the inspirational part of this video. I guess the other point would be, man with hairy back finds body acceptance. So all of my hairy backed YouTube watchers, which is probably a few of you guys sitting there in your mom's basement with your neck beards, I don't care. We're all one. So as you can see, the weight kind of getting up there. The real challenge here is landing slowly so you're getting the most out of the movement and exploding up as fast as possible. You don't want to bounce too much. So now I got 3 plates on either side. That's 315. It's weird. Sometimes I feel as though doing box squats, the weight seems lighter, and then sometimes I feel like it's just incredibly heavy. But I like to do them every 3 to 4 weeks as a variation, maybe whenever I do a deload week, where I'm dropping my intensity down a bit. I like to do them because it teaches you really, take your time, get your core really, really tight. That's why I'm using that belt there, pushing my abs into the belt as hard as I can. Taking a deep breath here. Trying to stay tight, 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 tight. Land, and then explode up. So it might not look like I'm exploding up as fast as I can, but I also have 355 on my back. It's going to slow me down just a little bit. So I got one more rep here. and it was pretty easy. But, you know, it's deload week. Should be a little bit easier, right? That's my biggest fan, apparently, noticing that I brought a tripod to the gym.
Why are you so obsessed with me?
But for real, might as well just do some tricep extensions here, just round that out. I think of tricep extensions often as like assistance exercise that people do when they're more focused on hypertrophy, you know, getting their muscles really big. But, you know, I'm sitting there usually just doing my compound movements and not thinking about doing tricep extensions or anything like that. So I usually don't do them, but it's good to do every now and again. And if you're one of the creepy people who was watching my singlet video, then you're probably really enjoying this. Man with hairy back uses tricep extension machine. And maybe I'm thinking about doing some cardio, perhaps. Who knows? Also, I just signed up at the gym that is going to be having my powerlifting meet, and it's really amazing. I can't wait to share it with you guys. They do strongman there. They do CrossFit. They do Olympic lifts there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I look forward to showing you the kinds of stuff that they do there. There's the elliptical machines, and they're empty, and they shall remain that way because, well, we can do cardio on rest days. That's it for me, guys. This has been the BK Stank. I have my powerlifting meet coming up this December 16th at Brute Strength Gym in Norfolk. I think it's Norfolk, Virginia. If you guys want to check that out, look them up online. Search Brute Strength Gym. If you want to check out any of my social media stuff, I'm at Bren Kennedy on Instagram and Twitter. Look me up on Facebook if you'd like to. And if you liked this video, go ahead and like it. If you really, really liked it, go ahead and subscribe and see the other kinds of videos that I'm posting up on my page. If you have any comments, if you have any criticisms, feel free to put those in the section below. My name is Brendan Kennedy. This has been the BK Stank, and I thank you guys. I'll see you next time.